can do to help maintain control of a load. Every day, thousands of employees in the U.S. work with cranes. Because of the hazards associated with this type of work, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, has established crane safety regulations for both industrial and construction work. These standards cover a number of areas, including the design, construction, and safe use of rigging equipment, the best practices for lifting, moving, and lowering loads, the standard hand signals that should be used in crane operations, and more. Everyone who works with and around cranes needs to understand these regulations and follow the required procedures. But riggers play a central role in lifting and moving loads safely. They verify how much the load weighs, choose and attach the appropriate slings when required, and use the hitch that's best for balancing the load and holding it securely. Riggers also help control the load throughout the lifting and moving process, assist in landing the load safely at its final destination, and disconnect it from the crane when the move is done. But your safety responsibilities as a rigger begin before you pick up a sling or attach a tagline. You need to help protect yourself from injury. This can include safety shoes with steel toes to guard against injuries from drop loads or equipment, a hard hat and safety glasses to protect your head and eyes from falling, flying, or hanging objects, and heavy leather gloves to shield your hands from abrasions caused by rope, braided wire, and sharp objects. In many cases, slings are used to connect a load to a crane's lifting hook. They support the load's weight while holding it securely and helping to balance it. Different types of slings are intended to lift and carry loads of various sizes, shapes, weights, materials, and even temperature safely. Commonly used types of slings include wire rope slings, widely used for lifting loads on construction sites and in other rugged environments. Synthetic slings, the lightest and most flexible type of sling. They're good at gripping a load securely without damaging it. Metal mesh slings, with wide, durable surfaces that provide a good grip and balance for a load. And chain slings, used for lifting very heavy loads or in high-temperature environments. When you're using, you should inspect it thoroughly for damage and defects that could reduce its strength or make it hazardous to use. Check wire rope slings for broken wires, crushed sections, kinks, or bends. Inspect synthetic slings for abrasions, loose threads, cuts, tears, or knots. Make sure chain and metal mesh slings have not been stretched, gouged, cracked, or damaged by excessive heat. If you find problems with the sling you've selected, don't use it. Take it out of service and replace it. You also need to take care to avoid damaging the slings yourself. Never tie a knot in a sling. Avoid kinking and twisting them, and never drag them over rough surfaces. It's important to make sure that the sling you're using has the rated capacity to handle the weight of the load you're lifting. You can find this information stamped or molded into metal chains, marked on a tag attached to a web or metal mesh sling, or listed in the manufacturer's manual. This load, which can result in serious damage, injuries, even fatalities. In fact, it's a good idea to make sure that the weight capacity of all the equipment you use, shackles, hooks, even the crane itself, can handle the load you're working with before you make a lift. If you use slings to rig a load, remember that the angles of the slings in relation to the loads they are carrying can significantly affect the amount of tension that is placed on them. The sling angle is the horizontal angle that is formed between the leg of the sling and the top of the load. For any given load weight, the smaller the sling angle, the more strain that is placed on the sling. For example, consider a sling that connects a 1,000-pound load to a crane's lifting hook. The sling itself is straight up and down, so the sling angle is 90 degrees. And the strain on the sling equals the weight of the load, 1,000 pounds. Now consider another 1,000-pound load. This one will be rigged by using two slings, attached symmetrically over the load's center of gravity. In this setup, with the sling angles at 60 degrees, the strain on each sling equals 577 pounds. That means the total strain on the rigging will be 1,154 pounds, which is greater than the weight of the load itself. To rig loads safely, you must take the effects of sling angles into consideration. A sling angle chart or rigging pocket guide can help you assess these angles and select the right slings for your job. Hitch is the method used to attach, wrap, or reeve a sling onto a load so that it can be raised. The purpose of a hitch is to support a load and keep it under control, preventing it from tipping, rotating while it is lifted, moved, and landed. There are three basic types of hitches. A vertical hitch connects a load to the crane hoist by a single sling leg that hangs straight up and down. It's used on loads that are equipped with lifting attachments, such as eye bolts or latches. A basket hitch passes the sling under the load with its ends connected to the crane hook and can provide the greatest lifting capacity of all hitches. A choker hitch passes one end of the sling under the load and through an attachment or eye on the other end of the sling, so that the sling tightens on the load when it is raised. You use this hitch when you need to get a good grip on the load. A variation known as the double